Good evening, everyone. I'm Alan Joines, Mayor of Winston-Salem. It's my pleasure to call to order this November 14th meeting of the Winston-Salem City Council and ask the city clerk to call the roll, please.
Councilmember Larson.
Present.
Councilmember Clark.
Here.
Councilmember Mundy.
Present.
Councilmember Scipio.
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem Adams.
Here.
Councilmember Taylor.
Present.
Councilmember McIntosh.
Here.
Councilmember Burke.
Here.
Thank you very much. Would you please join the city council and me in a moment of silence? Thank you. Would you join the city council and me in a pledge of allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Recognize our Sergeant at Arms tonight, our good friend Lieutenant David Rose. Thank you, Lieutenant, for all you do for our city and department and for being with us tonight. May we have item H1, please?
Item H1, proclamation declaring November 17th, 2022 as World Prematurity Day. Whereas families face serious health risk and March of Dimes fights for their health by supporting research, leading programs, and providing education and advocacy. And whereas March of Dimes is committed to mobilizing the nation by amplifying the voice of pregnant women and families. And whereas in North Carolina, March of Dimes has worked extensively to reduce preterm births by improving access to care, by closing the health insurance gap for individuals of reproductive age, eliminating maternity care deserts, expanding group prenatal care, increasing awareness of the impacts of implicit bias on maternal health care, and raising awareness of the importance of optimal preconception health as a strategy to reduce preterm births, infant mortality, and maternal mortality. And whereas March of Dimes will continue its work in the community to address the maternal and infant health crisis of prematurity, as well as the social drivers of health, such as transportation and housing. And whereas the month of November is recognized as Prematurity Awareness Month, and November 17th is recognized as World Prematurity Day. Now, therefore, I, J. Alan Joines, Mayor of the City of Winston-Salem, North Carolina, do hereby proclaim November 17th, 2022 as World Prematurity Day, given under my hand and seal this 14th day of November 2022.
Thank you. I believe Nicole Brenner, for the Senior Director of Women's and Children's Institute at Novant Health, is here. She's there. Certainly, March of Dimes close to my heart. I used to be a chairman of that board, and they've done a lot of great work and continue to do good work for our city. And thank you for leading the effort to bring our attention to this very critical issue. So I'll present that to you, and if you'd like to say a word, you may.
We really appreciate the opportunity to be here tonight, and on behalf of the healthcare community and Novant Health, in recognizing such an important day, an important month for prematurity. 1 in 10 babies, and that's a little bit higher in Forsyth and surrounding counties, are born prematurely, and prematurity is actually the leading cause for infant death. So the more recognition we can bring to this as a healthcare system and as a community, the better served our community and patients are. So very much appreciated.
Yep. Thank you, Nicole.
Thank you. Thank you.
We have item H2, please.
Item H2, resolution honoring the 2022 City of Winston-Salem University graduates. Whereas there are 17 residents who have successfully completed City of Winston-Salem University: Susie Fielders Aaron, Melanie Archie, Lynetta Bailey, Manju Bhatt, Carmelita Coleman, Brittany Dent, Spencer Foster, Javier Herrera, Paula Leggett, Courtney Mack, Brittany McMillan, Rebecca Nuwan, Thomas Ray, Alyssa Russell, Lee Staten, Catalina Stewart, and David Swift. And whereas the coursework has included over 30 hours covering 19 city departments and divisions, completing a ride-along with the Winston-Salem Police Department or the Winston-Salem Fire Department, attending a city council or committee meeting, shadowing a CityLink agent, touring the Archie Elledge wastewater treatment plant, or going on a bond bus tour and completing a budget project. And whereas their dedication has resulted in a better understanding and appreciation of city government and has given them resources to better serve their community. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the mayor and the Winston-Salem City Council hereby approve and honor the aforementioned 2022 City of Winston-Salem University graduates and wish them much success with their future as community leaders.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
No one's opposed, and that is unanimous. So our graduates are here. Maybe I asked you all to stand and let us thank you for your. How about we go down the line, begin over here, if you just state your name so we know who's whom, if that would say.
Good evening, I'm Lynetta Bartley.
I'm Brian McMillan.
I'm Manju Bhatt.
Lee Staton.
Rebecca Nguyen.
Spencer Foster.
Catalina Stewart. Paul Leggett.
Javier Herrera.
Thomas Ray. David Swift.
Elisa Russell.
Courtney Mack.
Melody Archie.
Ms. Carmelita Coleman.
Brittany Dent.
Thank you all very much. As I told them just a few minutes ago, we're so grateful that they took time to learn about the city government. I think they're impressed with the many things that we do, impressed with the staff that we have here and the staff's commitment to good citizen service. And so you now know why the city does things a certain way, so we're going to count on you to explain it to your neighbors and your community groups about things. So thank you all again. So tonight's agenda of the City Council is comprised of two parts, the general agenda and the consent agenda. And it's the practice of this council to take the consent agenda as the first order of business. Items on this agenda have been unanimously recommended by City Council or are being submitted in accordance to established city policy. There'll be no discussion on the items on this agenda unless a council member so requests, in which event the item will be removed from the consent agenda and considered individually. Items not removed from the consent agenda will be enacted with one motion. The meeting is being televised live tonight on TV 13, and it will be replayed tomorrow at 9 a.m. and again Wednesday at 9 p.m. Of course, members of the public can always see copies of our agenda as well as see videos of previous meetings by simply going on our website and click on the Watch Meetings Online option. Council members, are there any items that you wish to remove from the consent agenda? If not, thank you, Councilmember Mundy. What is that item?
8 or 18.
Is it? I'll pull it there. Salem Lake item.
30.
There it is, yeah. I'd like to pull C30 myself, if you don't mind, council members. So I'd entertain a motion on the
I
ballot.
move for approval of the balance of the consent agenda, Mayor.
Second.
Second. All right, all those of that in favor of this item, please vote yes. And anyone opposed, vote no. And that is unanimous. Thank you all very much. And if you would read item C30.
Item C30, resolution approving the naming of Salem Lake Event Center in honor of former Alderman Dr. Virginia K. Newell, recommended by Community Development, Housing, and General Government Committee.
Thank you. It gives us an opportunity to recognize this wonderful lady who just turned 105 years old, served on this, now the City Council was Board of Aldermen when she served on it, and led a number of initiatives in our community, serving in the East Ward. And so felt like it was a wonderful recognition for her, and I made that recommendation, and I thank the General Committee for the recommendation, Mayor Pro Tem, and I can't make a motion, so I would entertain a motion.
Move for approval of item C30, please.
Second.
Motion second. All those in favor, please indicate by voting yes on this item. Anyone opposed, vote no. And that is unanimous. Councilmember Mundy, thank you for reminding me of that.
Mayor,
Councilmember Taylor.
if I may, there's a group of people in the audience today I just want to recognize.
Please.
I know it is a school night, so they won't be able to stay long, but I just want to recognize the folks at the Boys Club who came here today to be present, to participate in the political process. As a former member of the club, I know that you guys do great things. You will continue to do great things. I just want to thank you. We want to say we support you. We just want to encourage you to keep on pushing, keep on being a part of the process. Thanks for being here today.
Thank you, Councilmember Taylor. It's a great program. Councilmember McIntosh, let's make a comment about our favorite subject.
Yeah, if the council will indulge me, I would like to have staff give us a very brief report on the status of leaf collection, since it seems to be the most popular subject in the city of Winston-Salem at any fall.
Taylor here.
Assistant City Manager Taylor, if you got somebody to.
He's going to let one of his the
Thank you.
staff, he's going to let him do it.
Good evening.
Good evening.
To Mayor Pro Tem Adams, Mayor Jones, and all city council members, as well as all city officials and the citizens of this great city of Winston-Salem. First, I would like to just talk a little bit about leaf collection. Leaf collection started the first part of November, and as we all know, we have 4 quadrants out there. And then within those 4 quadrants, we have like 91 different routes that we take. And this year, we started out in quadrant 4. Last year was in 3, but basically we're going in a clockwise direction. So now we're almost completed 4. Leaves fell a little quicker this year, so I know a lot of the citizens are complaining really that we didn't start quick enough, but it takes time to get started because we have bucket item collection starts in April, and it runs from to September. So between September and time leaf collection starts, we try to get our equipment ready to get the leaves up, and it takes a little time to get everything converted back over. But like I said, we have 91 routes that we're taking. And so next week, we're planning on being in quadrant 1, which starts out at Carver School Road, and because leaves are pretty heavy everywhere in the city. So I'd like for everyone to just have a little patience with them. We'll try to get out there and get them done. And a couple of things I'd like to go over is, like our primary goal is to collect each quadrant 3 times. So if we can get through the first round of leaves collection by the end of December, that's our goal for this year. Also, the type of equipment we use, we have 6 automated leaf trucks. And with those 6 automated leaf trucks, we go pretty quickly as long as the leaves are not real wet. So a lot of the time that we spend, sometimes it's hard to put an estimate on what time we're going to be in your community, but because the weather plays a lot. Like tomorrow, it may rain a lot, so it may slow us down. Also, we have 18 pull-behind trucks, which is 3 people working that truck. We got a driver and 2 laborers outside. They're actually getting the leaves up. So it's a real hard task, but we're doing our best to get everything done. And for people that want to know who to contact, we have Mr. Tobias Mack and Ricky Boston, which is both of them are supervisors. So feel free to give them a call, and they can give you an estimate of what time we'll be in the community. And some of the leaf collection guidelines is that the main thing is we like for people, when they bring the leaves to the curb, don't push them out into the street because it messes up the traffic pattern. And want to keep the leaves behind the curb. And please do not park your cars in front of the leaves because it's very hard to get the equipment in and out without causing some accidents. And basically, that's just a rough thing about leaves tonight. And anybody have questions?
Any questions? That's good. Main thing is we'll be around 3 times.
We're going to get around 3
This is
times.
the first time we'll get you the next one.
Yeah, that one.
And make sure you all work safely.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you very much. We
Thank you.
appreciate all the hard work of you and your staff.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. McIntosh. We'll now go to the general agenda, which is comprised of the following items. There's an item related to economic development, an item regarding a street closing, an item related to granting an extension for the franchise of the operation of the Haynes Mill Road landfill, an item regarding financial assistance for Habitat for Humanity, an item related to the subordination of an existing permanent financing agreement for the Heights single-room occupancy building, an item regarding the City of Winston-Salem's legislative priorities, an item related to appointments and reappointments to boards and commissions, as well as the public comment period. The economic development item and the street closing item are listed as public hearings. And when these public hearings are called, individuals in the council chamber will be given an opportunity to speak. If no one wishes to speak, I'll close the public hearing and we'll consider the item. The public comment period is also a time set aside by the city council and me for citizens to voice their opinions on matters that are germane to city government. When the comment period is called, each speaker will be given 3 minutes, and the comment period will be limited to a total of 30 minutes. Ms. Keeney, before I say Ms. Keeney called the first item, I'll just point out that this is Ms. Keeney's last meeting with us as city clerk, and we sure are going to miss you, Ms. Keeney. Great job, and we wish you the very best. Now you can read the first bill.
Item G1, public hearing on resolution approving economic development assistance for Project 11 pursuant to North Carolina General Statute 158-7.1, recommended by Finance Committee.
City Council, we do need to continue this item. Nothing particularly an issue there, but it's just some timing in terms of the announcement of the name of the company.
Okay.
So there's been a request to continue this item to the December 5th meeting of the City Council. I would entertain a motion.
Move for approval.
Second.
Second. Any discussion? All those in favor of that motion, please indicate by voting yes. Anyone opposed, vote no. Thank you very much. Item G2, please.
Item G2, public hearing on a petition to close and abandon an unnamed alleyway off of Park Boulevard and notice to all persons interested in the closing thereof, recommended by Public Works Committee.
Thank you. Is there anyone in the council chamber who would like to be heard on this potential street closing? Seeing no one, I declare the public hearing closed. This did come from the Public Works Committee, so I would recognize Councilmember McIntyre.
I make a motion to approve this item.
Second.
Motion second. Any discussion? All those in favor of this motion, please indicate by voting yes. Anyone opposed, vote no. Thank you very much. That's unanimous. Item G3.
Item G3, second reading on ordinance granting an extension of the franchise for the operation of Haynes Mill Road landfill, recommended by Public Works Committee.
This item has been before us before. It is the second reading of this. I would recognize Councilmember McIntyre.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion second. Any discussion? All those in favor, please indicate by voting yes. Anyone opposed, vote no. And that is unanimous. Thank you very much. Item G4.
Item G4, motion to excuse Councilmember Burke from voting on agenda item G5.
Councilmember Burke has joined the Habitat Board, I believe, as a member, so
That's
we
correct.
will entertain a motion to excuse her from voting.
So
on this
moved.
item.
Second.
Motion second. Discussion. All those in favor, please indicate by voting yes. Anyone opposed, vote no. And that's unanimous to excuse Councilmember Burke from item G5.
Item G5, consideration of items regarding authorizing financial assistance to Habitat for Humanity of Forsyth County for infrastructure in the Stone Terrace development, recommended by Finance Committee.
This come out of Finance Committee. Councilmember Clark, I would recognize you.
Yeah, this was unanimously approved at Finance. I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion second. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor, please vote yes. Anyone opposed, vote no. Motion passes 7 in favor with 1 abstention. Thank you. Item G6.
Item G6, motion to excuse Councilmember Taylor from voting on item G7.
So move.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Second. Any discussion? All those in favor of excusing Councilmember Taylor, please vote yes. Anyone opposed, vote no. And that is unanimous. Councilmember Taylor, you're excused from voting on item G7. You would read item G7, please?
Item G7, resolution authorizing the conveyance of certain city-owned property for the development of affordable housing in the Ridgewood Place subdivision to True Homes, its assigns, or its successors, recommended by Finance Committee with 3 in favor and 1 abstaining, and recommended by Community Development Housing General Government Committee.
It was unanimous recommendation from the Housing Committee. I'd recognize Mayor Pro Tem Adams.
Thank you. I move for approval of item G7. Second.
Motion second. Any discussion? Not all those in favor, please vote yes. Anyone opposed, vote no. And that motion passes with 7 in favor and 1 excused from voting. Item G8.
Item G8, consideration of items regarding subordination of existing permanent financing for the Heights single-room occupancy building and financing for development of 12 units of workforce housing, recommended by Finance Committee with 2 in favor, 1 opposed, and 1 abstaining.
Councilmember Burke has asked that we vote on these 2 resolutions separately, and certainly a council member can request that item be bifurcated anytime they would like. So we'll take the first resolution, if you'd read that one, Ms. Kenny.
Resolution authorizing subordination of existing permanent financing for the Heights single-room occupancy building.
Thank you.
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion second. Any discussion? All those in favor of this motion, please indicate by voting yes. Anyone opposed, vote no. And that motion passes a vote of 5 in favor, 3 opposed. Then we go to the second resolution, please.
Resolution authorizing permanent financing for the development of 12 units of workforce housing in the Heights.
Move for approval.
Motion is second.
Second.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second, okay. And I recognize Councilmember Burke.
Thank you, Mayor. Excuse me. Good evening, everyone. As you all know, I have been opposed to this proposal, and this is the 3rd meeting. At this time, I would like to recognize Northeast Ward constituents. Would you please stand? Thank you so much. I am opposed to this proposal because my constituents that are in the communities that are close by the Heights, as well as communities that are beyond the Heights in the Northeast Ward, have asked me to focus on blighted areas that already exist in the Northeast Ward. They have asked me if there are any housing dollars that can be used in the Northeast Ward, can we use those housing dollars in existing communities where blight exists? I am opposed to this proposal because, number one, before I came on council, the city hired the UNC School of Government to conduct a affordable housing needs study. And from that study, the research that they conducted and the summary that they provided said that we should be intentional when we plan affordable housing communities. We should make sure that we plan affordable housing communities where economic mobility exists. I don't know who all has had an opportunity to go to this campus, but this is an isolated area. There is no economic mobility. There's not immediate access to a grocery store or restaurants or drugstores or recreational areas or facilities. Yes, on the campus there will be a United Healthcare facility, but it is not open 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. What if the families have an emergency on the weekends or after hours? What would they do? This campus is not located close to anything, especially not a major hospital like Novant or Wake Forest Health. There's no transportation up here. Yes, the city could provide a transportation system up there, a bus stop up there, but we don't have a transportation system that runs 24 hours. What will these people do in this isolated location without the amenities that they need? Instead of creating what I believe to be more disparities, I think that we should be more intentional with the dollars that we have in the city, and we should provide housing opportunities that improve the quality of life for all of our citizens, not just some of our citizens. I cannot stress and emphasize enough that this is an isolated location. Nothing's there. Nothing. I also want to say that we have in our city, as in most, a system of being able to vote for government officials, elected officials who represent the voices of the people. I was voted in to represent the desires and the voices of the people of the Northeast Ward. They have told me all over the Northeast Ward before I was elected and since I've been elected, ride here, I want you to see this. Come over here, I want you to see that. All blighted areas. We have some needs in our community that do not exist in others, in some of the others. And I appreciate Councilmember Mundy. On many occasions, he has talked about the difference in his ward and in maybe my ward, Councilmember Taylor's ward, Councilmember Scipio's ward, Councilmember Mayor Pro Tem Taylor's ward. He has recognized that his residents have all of these amenities that many of our residents don't. We have an opportunity to build better. We have an opportunity to provide opportunities that promote a better quality of life. So I'm asking that if we are going to use any housing dollars that the city has, I am asking that we use these dollars to address the blight, to build new houses on vacant lots, to address vacant, abandoned houses that are nuisance attractors in our community, to rehabilitate homes, to fix streets, to add lighting, to beautify communities and add landscaping. We have dollars, and this is where our dollars are needed, and this is not a project that I support, but I do support housing, quality housing that allows community members to have access and an opportunity to a better quality of life. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Burke. We do have a motion to approve this item. All those in favor, please indicate by voting yes. Anyone opposed, vote no. Is that correct?
That's not correct now.
I haven't voted.
We need to put that one back up and vote again.
Yes, sir. Okay, now
All
you
those
can
in favor
start.
of this item, please indicate by voting yes. Anyone opposed, vote no. And the motion passes 5 in favor and 3 opposed. So the motion does pass. Thank you. Item G9.
Item G9, resolution adopting the City of Winston-Salem's legislative priorities for the 2023 legislative session, recommended by Community Development, Housing, General Government Committee, with 3 in favor and 1 abstaining.
Thank you. I would ask our city attorney, Ms. Carmen, if you would just briefly give us a synopsis of this package we're sending down to the legislature.
Sure. Good evening, Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, and council members. You have 5 bills in your legislative package this year. The first bill is a repeat of the bill that was in last year's package. It authorizes the city council, or if the city council wishes, the utility commission to exempt affordable housing parcels from the system development fees charged by the utility commission. Again, this is to promote affordable housing. The second bill is also a repeat from the prior package. It basically authorizes the city's current 70-30 program. There was some question as to whether or not there is clear legislative authority for the program, so the program's been put on hold until this bill passes. The third one, third bill in your package, basically authorizes the use of civilians to conduct traffic crash investigations. Again, this is a repeat bill, was in last year's package. The next bill basically came about as a result of a bill that was included in last year's package based upon communications between the fire chief and Senator Lowe. And the bill was to authorize $2 million in funding for a ladder truck for Fire Station 19. It did not pass during the last session, so I asked that it be added to this current package so council is aware that that bill is out there. And then the last one is a new bill. It's basically to authorize City Council to provide grants to for-profit and nonprofit businesses that are engaged in services that the City Council believes to be essential. It's basically an additional authorization beyond what City Council currently has. It is possible that this bill will be tweaked a little with the General Assembly and the Legislative Office, Drafting Office, but again, it gives the city a little bit more authority than it currently has. One use might be providing incentives to a grocery store to locate in an area where there may be a need or a lack of grocery stores. And another instance would be, example would be potentially providing assistance to businesses that we were not able to provide assistance to during the Weaver plant fire. And that is the entire legislative package. I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Councilmember Clark had a question?
Yeah, is there any way we can break off that last one and vote on it
You
separately?
can bifurcate all of them if you want to. We can vote
No,
on
just the one.
All right, so Councilmember Clark requests that we vote on the first four and then vote on the last one separately. So I entertain a motion on the first four.
Yeah, I'll give you a move approval on the first four.
Second.
There's a second. Councilmember McIntosh.
How time sensitive is this? Do we have time to go back and re-examine that last one in committee and come back, or does it need to be?
We have time. The session will start in January. I don't know the date just yet. It's a long session, so we do have time. So if you want to hold off and go back through committee, I guess we could take it through committees either in December or January and add it to the package. I'd like to have a meeting with our delegation in January, if not January, early February.
My preference would be to re-examine that last item. I have a couple questions too, but
Okay.
I don't want to kill it. I'd like to look at it again if that's
Let's
possible.
vote on these first four then. All those in favor of the first four, please indicate voting yes. Anyone opposed, vote no. And that's unanimous. Council members, without objection, we would send it back to committees for review. Does that sound okay? Any objection?
Mayor.
All right, good. Thank you. All right, thank you, City Attorney.
Sure.
Item G10.
Item G10, Mayor Joines' recommendations for appointment to the Sustainability Committee, category Wake Forest University, Zebulon Z. Berry, term expiring May 2024.
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion second. Any discussion? All those in favor, please vote yes. Anyone opposed, vote no. Thank you. That's unanimous. G11, please.
Item G11, Mayor Joines' recommendations for appointments to the African American Heritage Initiative, London D. McKinney, term expiring August 2025, Sheila D. Williams, term expiring August 2024, Betty Haynes, term expiring August 2023.
Is there a motion?
Move for approval.
Second.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion second. Any discussion? All those in favor, vote yes. Anyone opposed, vote no. And that's unanimous. Thank you very much. Item G12.
Item G12, Mayor Joines' recommendation for reappointment to the Bicycle Pedestrian Active Mobility Advisory Committee, Joshua Swift, term expiring August 2025, Michael G. Hosey, term expiring August 2025, Sharon E. Nelson, term expiring March 2025, Carol Hoover, term expiring August 2025.
Is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion second. Discussion. All those in favor, please indicate by voting yes. Anyone opposed, vote no. And that's unanimous. Thank you. Item G13.
Item G13, Mayor Joines' recommendation for reappointments to the Tourism Development Authority, category Tourism, Dana Suggs, term expiring October 2025, category Hotel with less than 100 rooms, Dana Bryson, term expiring October 2025.
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion second. Discussion. All those in favor, please indicate by voting yes. Anyone opposed, vote no. Thank you. That's unanimous. Item G14.
Item G14, Mayor Joines' recommendation for appointment to the Public Assembly Facilities Commission, Fair Planning Committee, category Fair Planning Committee, Thomas McKim, term expiring December 2024.
Move for approval.
Thank you.
Second.
Motion second. Discussion. All those in favor, please vote yes. Anyone opposed, vote no. And that is unanimous. Thank you, City Council. We'll now go to item G15.
Item G15, public comment period.
Thank you again. This is a time that the City Council and I invite members of the public who would like to address the council on matters that are germane to city government, and we'd ask that you would hold your comments to 3 minutes, and please give your name and address for the record when you come up. First person signed up is Sylvia Adams.
Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem Adams and council members. First of all, I just want to thank you all on behalf of the Salvation Army Boys and Girls Clubs, for giving us this opportunity for our teen center. We are ecstatic and really excited. I look at Councilmember James Taylor, who has been a former club member when I first started working at the Salvation Army. I'm telling my age, but I can remember him talking to me after he grew up in the club and then graduated from college, and he came back to work for us. And he sat down and talked with me and asked me about attending these meetings. And little did we know, he knew what he wanted to do, but little did I know, at the time he was planting a seed to really become a council member. And he continues to thank me to this day. But we're planting seeds in all of our teens in hopes that we're going to have some other council members from our Salvation Army Boys and Girls Club. Not only council members, we're looking at Mayor Jones. You might have a mayor out there. So we, again, just want to thank you all. We're excited to look at having this teen center so we can serve more children in our community. I think a lot of people think teens should be home by themselves during the summer and during the school year. We are getting phone calls every day from parents. They go home and see things that they don't like, and they're calling us to see if we can provide a space for them. So again, thank you all on behalf of our Boys and Girls Clubs. And at this time, I want to give our young man, Manny Willis, a chance to come up and speak at this time, if that's appropriate.
Yes.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Good evening.
Good
evening.
My name is Manny Willis, as she said, and I just want to come up here and thank y'all for the grant for letting us get the teen center. I really appreciate it because it's gonna help us a lot. I like going to the club and I like playing with my friends, but I feel like when we get this teen center, it'll boost it a lot and it'll make new kids come and new friends I can make, and it'll just be more fun. And yeah, I really feel like the club is a place to be because I like it. I have fun. I get my homework done. I know that's the priority.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
I have fun. I like playing basketball there because we got a good gym. And I just really appreciate y'all for doing that. That's really all I have. Y'all have a good night.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Good job. By the way, years ago, I used to coach football at the boys' club, so I remember we had some, I didn't coach Councilmember Taylor, though. Coleman Gibson.
Good evening, everyone that's here
Good evening.
tonight.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I'm here to talk about East Ward and over at the shopping center. Last week, we were at a public meeting, and before I could get it out, the kids said all they heard was, "We can't do anything." And I said to myself, wow, before I could even say anything, children, this is what they heard. And I heard it too. Every time a topic was brought up, we can't do anything. It seemed like property owners, landowners have more respect and power than the residents who live there. I understand they pay taxes, but we pay taxes too. So my issue is allowing young people, old people, congregate at that shopping center, El Taino. That's the issue right there. I'm saying give them something to do, ask them for if they want to, be involved in some programs, but please do something about that. Now, I know it's private property, but just like what happened over in Liberty Street at that Citgo, don't wait till people start getting shot and all that is happening before you do anything. You shut them down, you took their alcohol license from them. You need to talk to El Taino and the other people over there too. They got signs up there saying no loitering, no, selling, soliciting, all that. Enforce it. Mayor, I don't know how the police department is run here, but we're asking you to do something. You got streets over there. I shouldn't have to worry about walking down the street and people asking me, do I want this? Do I want that? As far as illegal activity, a whole street. And I could go over there and sit there all day and see all kind of stuff happening. So I know somebody else can do it. That needs to be shut down too. My children should be able to walk down the street anywhere in the city and be able to go to the store, play without a whole bunch of nonsense going on. It's illegal activity going over there in that store. I'm sure everybody knows it, but ain't nobody doing anything about it. And I wish somebody would explain to me also, after hearing Councilmember Burke say what she said, why people didn't vote for her. Because we want the same thing as downtown. Downtown got officers, it's beautified, officers walking down the street, making sure everybody's okay. We want the same thing in our communities too. We want our communities beautified also. So can somebody explain to me why her proposal didn't pass after everything that she said?
Thank you, Mr. Gibson. Your time is up. Thank you. Matthew Myers. Mayors, I guess is perfect. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, Madam Pro Tem, and members of the council. My name is Matthew Mayers, and I live at 2844 Wesleyan Lane. Bless you. Sorry. Last month, I and several other people stood on this spot and criticized you all for a decision about some police car purchases, and tonight I'm here to sing a different tune. The items that I'm referring to didn't get pulled out of the consent agenda, but I was watching on TV, or on my computer rather, and I want to thank you and applaud you for some of the things that have happened since last month. Namely, there was for anyone in the gallery who doesn't know or anyone else watching, there was a carve out for some hybrid vehicles for the police department. Thank you for that, and well done. Mr. Geis made a presentation to the Finance Committee saying that they wanted to cut in half the purchase of half-ton pickups for this round so that they can look into potential alternatives next time around if there are better availability for electric vehicles or hybrids. You approved the funding for the solar panels on the Stuart Bryce building. You appointed a new person to the Sustainability Committee, and so on and on. And I view these as excellent, good faith steps in the right direction. And so I thank you and applaud you. Rest assured, of course, there's still those of us who want to see more, and we will continue to push for bolder and better actions. But tonight, I just do want to say thank you and make that noise.
Thank you, Ms. Mayers.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Cheryl Harry. Didn't see Cheryl out there. I think Cheryl, she was here to talk about the Shotgun House project that we approved, I think. Great. Does anyone else like to be heard during the public comment period? Yes, sir.
George Red, 2531 Kingsgate Drive. Mayor Allen Jones, Mayor Pro Tem, other members of the council. I just want to publicly thank you all on behalf of Habitat for Humanity of Forsyth County. As a matter of fact, we actually have a couple of staff members here with us this evening, and we just wanted to say thank you. But more importantly, we wanted to thank you on behalf of our families, all the families that we serve throughout Forsyth County, because without you all helping us get this project through, they would suffer and this project would not have been able to move forward. So I just want to publicly thank you all, because when I got this job, one of the things I wanted to focus on was relationship building. And I believe that if we can continue to sit down and talk about the problems that are going on in our community, things can improve. I know it's not going to happen overnight, but if we can sit down and find some common ground and look at some of the projects that are going on throughout the city and how Habitat can help with affordable housing, we are open to talking about any ideas that you all may have. So I look forward to talking with you all from now on and many years to come, hopefully. So I just want to publicly thank you all for everything that you're doing for our residents throughout Forsyth County. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Red. We're glad to be good partners with Habitat, for sure. Anyone else?
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening. Good evening.
My name is Yvonne Floyd, and I'm the program coordinator at the Salvation Army Boys and Girls Club here in Winston-Salem. I just want to say thank you for your vote for the grant. We are super excited about this opportunity. With this grant, we are able to provide a safe environment for our teens. With the way the world is going today, we need a place and activities for our youth to be involved. And with this grant, you all are giving us that. So I just want to say thank you on behalf of the staff at the Boys and Girls Club. I myself grew up at the Boys and Girls Club. Our Mr. Taylor, his three, grew up in the Boys and Girls Club. So this is really great to see. So I just want to say thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that. Anyone else like to be heard?
Good evening. My name is Harold Holmes, and I'm Secretary of the Castleshire Woods Homeowners Association, and I live in the ward that Barbara Haynes was addressing. And I just want to say how disappointed I am in hearing her presentation, and how ashamed I am to be a member of this community and have you all hear that and still align with a developer who told us that the amenities for this project are a concrete slab and some picnic tables. And for our African-American members of the council, I hope that resonates with you. I don't know how we're going to make progress. I've lived here since October of 1975. If we hear that kind of a presentation and we're going to fund and underwrite a project like that with the information that was provided. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Holmes. Anyone else like to be heard?
Good evening, Mayor and council members. Good evening. My name is Garlia Hassan, I live at 5116 Britt Road. And I'm here tonight to ask you again, same question I asked on October 17th. And because I'm hoping everybody got my last email in response to city attorney's letter. And if you did, I think we are beyond the part where if the city did what I said they did. We are beyond that now. And in order to fix this, at this juncture, what we need to hear from each and every one of you as individual council people, do you stand with this illegal contract that's been given to Dalton Concrete? And if you do, I want you to say that publicly. And also I want to hear from this council if you will then activate the contract that my wife has, which is legal and open, and we should be working. Now, because of the retaliation of bringing this before you, that's not happening. But we need that to happen. So tonight, if I could, even if after you leave this panel, I would like to get an email stating your position, because each and every one of you could be held liable as well for what your staff has done. And for those who don't know, this is a very serious crime. It carries 10 years in prison and a $100 million fine to the city, and a $1 million fine to each one of the persons who participate in this fraudulent scheme. So, whether you do it now, or by morning, or by whenever you choose, I want to know where each and every one of you stand individually. And if that's too much to ask, I'm sorry. But that's what I need to go forward. And in the event that you see not fit to do this, then I will be here every day in protest around City Hall. So get your police and everybody ready.
Mr. Hassan, I appreciate it. Thank you for your comments. Anyone else like to be heard during public comment period?
Good evening, everyone.
Good
My
evening.
name is Tanya Sheffield, P.O. Box 21682, Winston-Salem. I am a member of the Happy Hill Neighborhood Association, and I am blown away with the information that I've uncovered. There have been 5 studies done on affordable housing in this one city. In the 2000s, 5 studies. Nothing's been done. Thank you for bringing that study up earlier. And still, you sit here and you do nothing. You do nothing. That's amazing. You guys took an oath for the people that you represent. I pray that you will, before you leave office, do right by the people before you leave this office, because history will not be nice to you. You guys you're here and you can do something. You spent more money on corporations than people. Just because the Black Law Dictionary defines corporations as persons doesn't mean they outweigh human beings. Your job is simply to do right by the people. By the people, not the corporations. There is no need to pay a corporation to come here to hire people. No need. Why can't it be a win-win situation for us too? It's only win-win for you guys and the corporations. We get left out. You don't include us in the conversations when you're talking about our communities, what you want to do in our communities, as if we're not grown up. We don't know what we want or need, just like you. When you guys make decisions, you have people who have expertise to come tell you about it, because you don't know everything. We don't know everything, but guess what? If we were at the table, we could provide that valuable information about what we need and not what you think we need. So I know that it is our job now to learn this process so that we can get what we deserve, what is owed, what is due. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else like to be heard during public comment? Seeing no one, I'll close the public comment period. Council members, we do have a need to go into closed session. I'd recognize Mayor Pro Tem Adams.
Thank you, Mayor. I move that the City Council go into closed session pursuant to the North Carolina General Statute 143-318.11A6 with respect to the city manager.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor of going into closed session, please indicate by voting yes.
How about we just
Anyone
do it?
opposed, vote no. I'm not sure if it's correct.
It came right up for you, didn't it?
Okay. Let's move into the ante room, council members.
Old-fashioned closed session.
got enough to call them.
Oops.
Low.
Is there a motion to end closed session?
I move for us ending closed session.
Motion and seconded by Councilmember Scipio. All those in favor of closing the closed session, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? No. That we're now back into open session and would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion second to adjourn. All those in favor of adjourning, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? No. We are adjourned.